What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of The Cutting Board. And today, I'm joined by the sharpest tool in the shed. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I'm joined by Aiden. Why don't you say what's up?
I am the knife that goes to your board.
There you go. That was more of a Shrek reference. I don't know if you caught that. Shout out to
Oh,
Smash Mouth, but I've seen that movie 6 times in the theater. But anyway,
I've
let's
seen it a
get.
million times, but I didn't get it.
Oh,
So,
darn, it went over your head. I'll get them next time. But before we get into today's topic, we'd like to say thank you to anybody and everybody out there who is liking and sharing these videos with everybody you know. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich because we're always churning out some good content just like this. And more Shrek references are definitely down the road here. But Aiden, we have the Switch 2. It was revealed-ish, kind of. We're going to get that direct in a few months' time. But we've been pondering about, what gimmicks is this console going to have? What's going to be available at launch? We're talking about games. But I think the thing that has not been discussed enough are these quirky features, the peripherals, the things that made Nintendo consoles great. And today we're going to kind of sit down and hash out some things Nintendo could possibly bring. I don't want to say bring back, because some things deserve to be in the past. But what could come to the Switch 2? Aiden, what is one thing you'd like to see on this brand new shiny console?
well, for starters, unlike the Switch 2, this video is going to have layers,
Layers.
like an onion.
Ogres. I got that one. Knew that one was coming.
But, I mean, that's the best Shrek reference. That's the only one that's the one I remember all the time. So
Yeah.
now, if you bring up SpongeBob or Fairly Odd Parents, I'm your guy.
But there's somebody potentially watching this video who might not know what those references are. I think
Yeah.
I might stream with them every now and then. But anyway,
But
Switch 2, what are we thinking here?
so, you know what? I'm going to start off with one that I think was interesting just because someone posted about it, specifically Nintendo on X or Twitter or whatever, fuck Elon Musk. But bleep me, I don't care.
No,
I will say it
X.
every time.
Xbox, X, everything's all equal.
But Nintendo stated specifically they brought back the screen patent thing that Nintendo filed.
The one that goes on top.
And well, it never stated specifically like it goes on top or anything, but Nintendo brought up that they were thinking about it and that it could potentially go on top of the Switch 2, creating what is basically like a giant DS system.
That'd be
And
good.
I would totally be down for that, especially because there is a port on top now, so like you have a connector. So I would love to see that, especially if they plan on doing like DS games like on the
Yeah.
NSO or anything.
So I want to push back real quick. What do we think that would cost? First of all, because I think cost is a big thing here. And if you're going to gate off like DS stuff, like let's just say through NSO, or you're going to do these remakes, remasters, how much is a new screen going to cost? At least like a ballpark figure.
I mean, I would guesstimate probably $100.
Hmm.
And you know what? For that price, I would say Nintendo, I would absolutely hate you more than I already do
Yeah.
if you put $100 price tag on this screen and then put all of the DS games behind a paywall,
But tell me they
basically of
wouldn't.
that $100. Like, I fully believe Nintendo would do that. But
Exactly.
my hope is they make this screen and they add a DS port on the top of it,
Like a little,
and then that way,
like a
yeah,
little cart
just a
slot.
DS port in the top of it. So that way you can put your DS games in the top of that and the Switch will register them.
Ooh.
That
Okay.
way you have access to all your Switch games and your DS games. And if you want even more DS games, you have NSO.
Okay. That's my problem because we don't know the price of the Switch 2, at least as of right now. I'm guessing $400 to $500. I've heard a thing it's going to be bundled with Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart 10, who knows what they're going to call it. But let's just say Switch 2 base with no games, $450. You add another $50 to get the $500 bundle with the game, and then you're going to ask people to get $100 on top of all that, and let's just say Metroid Prime 4, you're getting like $550, almost $600.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people will be so willing, but
Well, that's why the screen's not going to release right away. It'll be a year later.
exactly. I think we should get rid of this stupid thing where they're like, hey, you bought the Switch 2 base model, but like 2-3 years down the line, here's a whole other console you might really want at the end of the day. And yeah, like here's another Switch 2 you gotta buy. I think releasing a separate screen, potentially OLED, I'm still holding out hope. But yeah, a second screen, like 2-3 years, I'm more than willing to buy that. And again, you're breadcrumb trailing everybody throughout this generation of, hey, here's the big stuff, Switch 2 right away. 2 years down the line, here's a DS emulator on whatever they're going to call NSO now. I think they're going to revamp it. But, you know, that'd be pretty awesome.
It'll just be revamped to Nintendo Switch Online 2.
Look at that. We're on par today. I love it.
But you know what? Just to stick with the DS thing, like, what do you think? Just because you made me think of it. 2 years from now, what do you think do you think that they create another Nintendo Switch 2 system, like how they made the OLED model? But do you think they make another system where they go, oh, now it's the Nintendo Switch dual screen model that has the screen built in?
Damn. Oh. That, see? Like, as outrageous as that sounds, I don't put it past Nintendo. Only for the fact I am a proud owner of the 2DS that's just like a slab. Like, it doesn't fold, it's just a flat thing. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
I'm a proud owner of that. And again, this exists at a time where it's like, there was the 3DS, there's the 3DS XL. They're gonna release another version of the Switch 2. It's just a matter of when. I'm gonna say 4 years into this all, because that's when this stuff starts to get, you know, a little... Stuff slows down a little bit, pending any games. But I do see a second screen in our future. I don't know. It's me holding out hope because they've done the Game Boy, they're doing the Game Boy Advance, they're doing all that stuff, and the next logical step in them porting over more games and more consoles would be the GameCube, the DS, and whatever else, unless they just skip that and go, no, we're going to the Wii, which even then, it's like, you could do more there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say what they're going to do when it comes to the screen aspect, but like, I'm really hoping they don't do a dual screen model of the Switch. Really hoping for that. I hope it's just plain and simple, hey, here's your second screen that you can put on. It has the capability to load DS games. There you go.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and simple.
I think that's more likely than a separate model, like a clamshell model, because they're going to be selling the ports or the docks, whatever you want to call them. Will it fit into that? You really don't know. If you just remove the screen, sure, that could work totally fine. But I like aesthetics, you know, how things look. Yeah. I'm a very visual learner. And we talk.
Same. Collector's edition consoles. You know I have them.
There we go. That brings me to my next point. We talked about this a little bit. Can we get the see-through stuff? Like, I'm talking about that purple, the green, the orange. You could do red, blue, whatever. I need see-through Joy-Cons. Now, I want to preface this by saying you can, through other means, get Joy-Cons like this, where you have to disassemble and put it all back together and potentially pinch a wire, then your Joy-Con doesn't work. Nintendo,
or you can just send them to somebody on Etsy.
There you go. Small business. Support them. But at the same time, if Nintendo's like, Switch 2 drops, and to celebrate the, I don't know the anniversary number, the 30th anniversary of the N64, here's see-through Joy-Cons, or here's that classic GameCube purple or orange or whatever. I'm dropping my money on those. I will not blink. It's just, I like those colors. The colors look great. And again, you're talking about a Switch. Everyone knows the red and blue. but that purple, that orange, that see-through purple, it's synonymous with like the Game Boy, the N64, and so on. Like, why not? Like, why haven't they
Yeah.
done it yet?
Just a fun fact for you, my browser, like how you can change like the color of your Google browser,
Hmm.
I have it set to specifically the Nintendo purple
Okay,
just because I
yeah,
like that. I like the old
yeah,
GameCube purple. That's how it's always set. But you're right though. Like they need to bring back those see-through consoles. Like honestly, for the anniversary, just give me a line of Nintendo Switch 2 consoles that are all see-through, all different neon colors.
yeah.
Like give me the full spectrum like they had with the N64. Give me the red, the orange, the purple, green, blue, and then I think they had a black one too.
Yeah.
Like give me all of those.
And it's to say that see-through stuff is not like the rage nowadays. I point to the PS5, who does have the removable side plates that do have the see-through orange, and I think blue is one of the colors. I could be totally wrong. I know orange is one of them. And then I have a few Xbox controllers where they had the Forza edition that was totally see-through. You can see the motors churning. The Starfield controller I have, the triggers are see-through. I think that aesthetic still kind of sells, and especially whenever you're
Yeah.
talking about the internals of a Joy-Con, there's some enthusiast like us who would love to see what's on the inside of these things without having to like break it open and screw up the whole thing.
Oh, for sure. Plus, I mean, really, when you come down to it, you have to think about the nostalgia too. Like, come on.
Yeah. No.
Like, people who are Nintendo fans will drop money on getting something just purely for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And if you release these colors too, you will also attract kids. Like,
Mm-hmm.
your main demographic here, Nintendo, besides adults who don't know how to grow up.
Right there with you. Also, real quick, while we're on the subject of see-through stuff and whatever, can we bring back colored cartridges? Like, the most iconic things in gaming, at least in my opinion, are the colored Pokemon games. Donkey Kong 64 had that yellow thing. Zelda had the gold cartridge. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like those things live forever. And even to say, like, they're this big, you're not going to notice. Back in the day, that's all we could talk about is like, did you see the Zelda golden cartridge? I think it was on the SNES or whatever. The Donkey Kong 64. I have my full collection of Pokemon games like Crystal. That thing is see-through and sparkly like a crystal. It's those cool things that add that little touch to the experience. And if we're going to be pricing games at like $70 or more, Nintendo, I think you can afford to like throw a little razzle dazzle on your games and make it an experience like it used to be.
No, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. I need to have like give me those those special games again. I loved them.
Yeah, and you
Everything whenever you're a kid was just so much better.
now this might be like a little too much and whatever, but like tell me like an Animal Crossing, the next one that comes out. What if it's like a wood grain, even if it's printed? I don't care. Like a wood grained like Switch cartridge.
Ooh,
That would look cool. Like people
that
would
would.
talk about that. Like
That would.
Nintendo, hire me for all the cool stuff. I'm a visual person. I'll get you sales no problem. But it's like
Yeah.
I open up a Switch cartridge or like whatever you want to call it, the container nowadays. There's nothing in it. No manual, no nothing. It's just a little cartridge. It's like throw me a
Yeah.
map or a poster or whatever. I'll put it up on my wall back there. But
They just
nowadays you don't
make
get
the
nothing.
case smaller.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's so funny. You open up the Switch thing and it's like this little SD
Yeah.
card.
This big
And it's
for
that big.
that little console.
Yeah, I don't know. But moving on,
Uh,
do you have any other features you want to add here?
No, no, not for this, but like I will point out that I was correct with one thing, at least seemingly correct, in
Potentially.
that it looks like they are doing the mouse.
Okay,
Me and a handful of people were correct about that.
there we go.
And we talked about this in a previous video. If you want to link it up somewhere, I don't care.
It's up there
Somewhere.
somewhere.
He's the editing master. But with the mouse, I just really hope that they actually do it correctly. In that I want them to do the mouse. I love the mouse idea. I think it would be great, especially for games like Mario, like Builder or whatever. That and like Sims and everything, like
Yeah.
stuff where you have to like actually point and click and drag. I just played Worlds of Aria, and if I swear, if the Nintendo Switch had that feature, I would have given the game a better review. Hands down, would have given it a better review because it would have helped with the UI.
Nintendo, I hope you're listening. I I laughed for a second because an idea popped in my head. We all know at the end of the day, Nintendo is going to sell heaps of plastic based around these peripherals. And if they're going to do a mouse thing, I know it's not going to
Oh yeah.
happen. I know it's not going to happen. It's a very far off thing. It's just funny because, like, while it's outrageous, this is Nintendo. But, like, what if Nintendo did a thing where you slot your Joy-Con into, like, a Mario glove and, like, that's the mouse? I don't know. It's crazy.
That would be so weird.
It can't work, but same time, like, you got to think at some point they're gonna sell you a thing where you lock the thing into like a plastic mouse or whatever, and yeah,
Oh, I'm
like that's
sure.
what it is. I'm convinced because in the trailer there's like these little railing things. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
calling them, but like it locks into something and then you can use the feature. So I'm gonna assume there's gonna be like a pro version or whatever that does
Oh,
have a
definitely.
mouse type feel.
I have a feeling that one that they showed, it's like just as big as the Joy-Con. Like, I have a feeling that's going to be very poorly optimized, where it's going to be like, oh, if you, soon as you move your hand, Joy-Con falls over and everything.
Well,
People
that's
aren't
going to be
going to
in
want that.
box. That has to be in
So
box.
like, yeah, so like it has to like have a bigger base to at least allow it to stand up
Yeah.
on its own without having to worry about it falling over and everything. But I don't know. I don't trust Nintendo fully not to like make this and then make something else later on that's better.
Yeah.
Like they can't get it right the first time.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Something they did like potentially get right the first time. Clearly, there's room for improvements. Let's talk about PictoChat and Street Pass. I
Ooh.
think those are two things.
And
When
Miiverse.
and Miiverse, gotta bring back the Mii's. I gotta make my monsters, my army of monsters. Uh, talk about things that, like, if we're talking about Switch 2, how this is going to be more multiplayer online focused. You talked about party chats at the top of this episode. I think we should bring some of that stuff back. The Switch at its core is a portable console. You're going to be taking it with you to work, on the train. uh, the trailers always showcase young adults at a wine party at the top of their roof in LA. Clearly,
Yeah.
someone's whipping out their Switch there. There was that video of Sabrina Carpenter's boyfriend whipping out 3DS out of his gooch. That's where the Switch 2 is going to be coming from. But, like, if we're going to be doing online, PictoChat, Street Pass, like, that stuff is fun. And I just need it back in
Yeah.
my life, even if it's a little thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun. I want to have things like that. Like, I miss the days of the 3DS and like the DS or whatever, where you could just like walk past people and it would just do the street pass thing, and then later on you'd come back and it'd be like, "Here's your community. Here's everybody that you passed on the street."
Yeah.
Like, there was a reason why I would bring my 3DS everywhere. It gave me an incentive to actually want to use it everywhere I went. But I don't have that incentive with the Switch at this point. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna play this while I'm out driving around. I'm not gonna play this while I'm at the doctor's office or whatever, yada yada yada. So I have no reason to take it with me. But
Yeah.
if it had Street Pass again, maybe label it something else, like maybe Community Pass, something like that. I don't know. Like the word campus has been thrown out so much,
Ooh.
but like give me something like that again, a reason to bring my Switch in my bag, so that way, hey, I just went to the coffee shop. Hey, I collected like 3 people who happen to have their Switches.
Yeah. I mean, also, too, we talk about like Pokemon with their raid battles. We talk about Mario Kart now having 24 people. Like, aren't you gonna want a way, even in passing, like that's what Street Pass is, to get more people into your game, and let's just say, like, you're on your college campus, you're just walking around. You're bound to bump into somebody who plays video games, who probably has a Switch too. You can interact that way. Like, get a lobby going. I remember the selling point of the Switch. They had the video where they laid it down on a table and connected it. Like, the screens were close to each other, so it looked like it was one big thing. That was the original premise of the Switch, to be like, hey, you can get together with your buddies, and it's like you brought your home console with you to, like, the park or whatever.
Yeah.
This console is going to be more than capable.
It's become a very isolationist console.
Yeah, it's very much like, grant you, at the end of the day, Nintendo's all about couch co-op and blah, blah, blah. But you're in 2025, 2026. Multiplayer is huge. It's what keeps you going. And for Nintendo, if they're going to do 24 players, if they're going to do another Smash or remaster Smash, you're going to want people to, like, interact and grow the community. The campus. I like that idea. I really like that name.
Yeah, I mean, I like it too. I mean, Campus came up because of a leak and, like, also because their button originally had a C on it, but it doesn't have a C now for some reason. But
that's getting in that. The next, take it to the bank. We're going to know what that is at that direct. It's blank for a reason. They want to hide it. They want to hide it. I got to say it.
But, like, bring back the Miiverse, connect it to the Street Pass thing. And, like, Miiverse was amazing, what with, like, having, like, different communities and everything.
Yeah.
That you could join. But, like, make it more like Discord, where you can create your own communities, create your own, like, you know, servers, create different chats in those servers and everything. There you go. Make it really in-depth. And then that way you can invite people via Street Pass to your communities. That way you can chat with them more, get to know them, become friends with them. And then also add in a party system, you know?
Yeah.
Make it so that you can just join a voice chat in one of those communities. There you go.
That needs to happen. Voice chat,
Yeah.
native voice chat. I have to say it multiple times because clearly no one at Nintendo hears anything at all. Like, we're in the modern age. We need native voice chat. If I have to use this damn phone to talk to somebody, even though I really don't, but...
Speaking of that, Andrew brought it up during a stream. Do you, like, he said specifically he does not believe that Nintendo's going to do a party system in the Switch.
Oh.
Just solely because they've invested so much in making that app.
No.
So what do you think? Do you think they actually make a party system in the Switch 2? Or do they do everything else community based, but leave the party chat stuff in the app?
That's what scares me, because both options are very plausible, especially when we talk about Nintendo. But I think if you want a clean break, you want a correct course, you want to make sure this console doesn't age as fast as the old Switch, can't believe I'm saying that, you're going to want to put that native voice chat in your console right away, no question asked. Like, I think that's almost a necessity.
Oh, definitely. I just debate whether or not Nintendo will actually do it.
Yeah, they've proven before. And also, real quick with PictoChat, like, it's a novelty, it's more of nostalgia, and if we're doing these party chats, there's no need for me to draw pictures and send them. Grant you, you can send some phallic images, I'll just leave it at that, through PictoChat on your DS. But at the end of the day, why not add that feature, be like a legacy thing, where it's like, oh, PictoChat, yeah, it's cute, whatever.
Add it into the Me Campus thing.
Yeah,
just add it into that.
Yeah.
Make it so you can draw pictures for your communities. There you go. That's a new version of PictoChat.
Boom. There we go. We solved the Switch too. We did everything. But yeah, like, I think, just to kind of encapsulate my side of this all, I think Nintendo at launch should definitely release a special edition console. Whatever you want to theme it as. I've heard a Mario Kart 9 console is in the works, potentially, as a bundle. I don't know. But I would like one at the start, just to kind of see, like, hey, do I want the base one? Do I want the Mario Kart one? I've seen images of a white Switch 2. That one looks clean. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I need special edition consoles, like, at least within the first 2 years. Don't do this thing where you're like 5 years and here's Metroid Prime 4 Special Edition that everyone wants. No, I need it right now.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
And people will hate me for saying this, considering just solely considering the Switch 2 is supposedly going to be released in the summer, I say that Nintendo wait until next year to release the console. And I
What?
say that solely because if you wait till next year, then it's going to be the 30th anniversary of the N64, and it'll be the 25th anniversary of the GameCube. And they could release the different colored like consoles for like a celebration thing. I know they could easily just do that next year as like a oh hey, still it's an anniversary thing. But I mean, come on, if they did the release date on like the anniversary year and did the collector's edition, that'd be great.
If Nintendo doesn't release this console this year, I'm going to crash out on one of these episodes. Like, if we're doing the react to that direct in a few months' time, and it's like at the end, Nintendo Switch 2, 2026. Aiden. I don't even know. I don't even know. I've been waiting too long for this console. I just need it to be out there. That's all I need. That's all I need.
I am like feeling like it'll end up being this year, but I'm just saying it for the point of nostalgia. This next year.
But that makes me feel bad too, because if they release that Switch 2 in like a GameCube purple or like the N64 see-through, I'm buying 2 Switch 2s. That's what I'm doing. I need that.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Man, Nintendo, why do you gotta do this? Just do the right thing up front. That's all I ask you. Release more Joy-Cons.
I'm gonna throw out one other thing that I just thought about too.
Uh-oh.
What do you think about the Switch 2 with them focusing more on AR, just augmented reality stuff?
I don't think that's hot.
Because Andrew and I talked about it, and it would be an interesting thing to me if they like put Pokemon Go in it, for instance, and like, or they did something along the lines of like Pokemon Snap. Like he mentions Pokemon Snap specifically, where like you make a real world version of it, where it's like combined with Pokemon Go, and like you go around, and you actually take pictures with your Switch and everything of like Pokemon in real life.
I see that could potentially be a thing for Pokemon Go because people are so invested in that game and there's already a community there. I don't see people taking their Switch 2s if, let's just say, there's going to be a second screen and like walking around with that behemoth taking pictures. You also run into problems with Wi-Fi and like connectivity like that.
Yeah.
But as an add-on to Pokemon Go, if they do Pokemon Snap or whatever, why not? Like, you already use augmented reality in that, but as a feature for the Switch 2, I just don't think it's that, I don't want to say fun, but like, do people really even care about augmented reality? Like, I don't play Pokemon Go in AR. Like, I play it normal, like, whatever. At first I did, because it's like, oh, Pokemon in the real world. But it's like a cheap thing at least right now. It's cheap. It's not really, it's not hitting.
Yeah.
At least for me.
No, I get you. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it was just something that he mentioned, and I was like, I could see it. Like, I could see a Pokemon Snap thing. But you're right about, like, if I had to, like, here, I have my Switch. If I had to go like this and carry my Switch around,
you'll look crazy. Especially with a second screen. Like a second screen or like a device that clamps over it. You're gonna look like a madman.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But, I have no shame in my game. It's just, do I really want to carry my Switch 2 around like that?
They just create like a camera mod that goes on the back of it that's like an old school camera that juts out like that far.
Oh, it sounds legit. Like, it's just Nintendo. If this was Xbox or PlayStation, none of this would sound like right. You'd sound crazy. But this is a company
that's the one who's made an alarm clock. So
I was about to say they sold us cardboard, and we all ate that up. I didn't, but people did. But yeah, Alarmo is a thing. But do we have any closing remarks here for the Switch 2?
I mean, I just say that Nintendo has a lot of potential with it, and they shouldn't squander it. Like, don't just be like, oh hey, here's the Switch 2, have fun, yada yada yada. Like, lean into who your fans are. Come on, Nintendo.
They have to. Please. They have to, but I don't trust them at all. But what I do trust you to do is join our Discord community because we're always talking about games. If you have a pitch for the Switch 2, join there and let's conversate a little bit about that. But if you're new to Game Sandwich, consider liking and subscribing to this here YouTube channel. But as of right now, I've been Kalo, joined by Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.